Hi, hello, and welcome to the weekly tarot buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. Excuse me. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the air rising signs. If you don't know your rising sign, start with your North Node. That's what this energy is designed for. Everything else will drop below 70% accuracy, unless, of course, you have a special chart, or sometimes it's a special month. This is going to go from the period between the 14th through about the 14th, give or take a day. Excuse me, the 14th or the 28th, give or take a day. And let's go ahead and begin. Hi, hello, and welcome to the weekly tarot buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for air rising sign. If you don't know your rising, start with your North Node. The way this is designed, everything else will be far less accurate unless it's a special month or you have a special chart, okay? Most Western astrology is designed for your rising sign. If you don't know your rising, the trick is to start with your North Node, unless you're a cross watcher. Now, here's the deal. We're going to have a few transits during this cycle. If you're new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Of course, if anything resonates deeply with you, like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. Definitely smash that like button. So if we see the full card, that's the Sun trining Uranus. The Sun also opposes Neptune, so that would be the Hangman, which we have. And it also trines Pluto, so that would be the Judgment card. We're having a connection with the node, so that could be really any ace. Okay, so we have this Hangman card here with the La Stella, the star. So something about our destiny was delayed. We required some mental space. We needed to perceive or witness creation, really, life happening, not just to us, but at us, around us, for us, with us, all of that. Against us, we need to just witness life. And somebody here may have their Venus in Aries with the Four of Wands and the Emperor card, the Imperatore. So this would be self-governance, self-mastery. We've mastered something, or it's the spiritual aspect of some kind of material situation, maybe even a manifestation. It's delayed here with the Hangman. So it could be ruling behind the scenes, a passive leader. It can also be destiny being delayed. Strength, courage, and wisdom has been building in the forefront, while in the background, faith, hope, and optimism has been building. In the background, our calling, the destiny on our life, also guided by faith, not by sight. We've been working on our faith in the background, whether we know it or not. It's true. We've been opening our heart, becoming full of God's love, unconditional love, universal love. We have the rest of the pyramid here. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here. We'll be imposing the guidance from the Thoth Tarot by Aleister Crowley, later Frida Harris. We will be deliberating the findings from Aleister Crowley Tarot. That's by Tanya Ajan. We might get a few bits and pieces of information from the Pop of Love Oracle, and that's if I see any love. Usually it's a corresponding king or queen, or soulmate energy, or a bunch of aces or tens, specifically 10 of cups, 10 of pentacles coming out together. Okay, so we'll be deliberating the findings from the we'll be deliberating the findings from Pop of Love Oracle, and the Aleister Crowley Tarot will be imposing the guidance from the Thoth Tarot. Okay, And we also have the Egyptian oracle here if it gets really deep. Okay, so hmm. So the problem came out with the solution, whatever it is. We've been probably percolating in some challenge. And gee, this is like intense here. Okay, so we've had to have three spirit interventions. I don't feel like it was back to back. It might have been successive. So we're now looking at this problem from three different viewpoints. That's very indicative of the hangman. It's ultimately coming to a different perspective about something that was up until recently mental that now we perceive from our eternal soul. So we would have had the projection, the misalignment, the human matrix perspective initially, and then we had a situation where we surrendered, released, maybe even sacrifices. We gave over, gave to God, and then the faith came through because we were beginning to understand why things had happened. We started to see the cosmic design, the grand orchestration. And now we're also beginning to understand how we're connected to things in different ways, in different shapes, in different forms. As I said, somebody has their Venus in Aries, somebody might have their Jupiter in Leo with the Strength card and the Six of Wands here. We may have a Leo moon or an Aries moon to a lesser degree. It can be a Taurus rising or Capricorn rising. We also have a double four, so there's moving into a higher level, some type of foundation. It might be deeper into a commitment if we're partnered up in any way, romantic, like a congenial or filial. It also can be that we were suppressed in some kind of way with this Strength card. So with the Four of Cups and the Strength card, that can talk about repression, even suppression to a lesser degree. Since we have multiple fours, it can be pinned down in a jar, left in a sunken place. It's a tell of weaving of woes is what I'm getting, because the solution came out with the problem. Or put it this way, the solution was hidden in the problem. And there was something intentional about it. With the Strength card and a bunch of eights, we could have spiritual manipulation, some kind of energy projection here, since we have the moon and the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Pentacles. Somebody didn't want us to withdraw, or there was a need to withdraw from the situation, the energy in and of itself. We would have been out of some holding pattern, maybe even fumbling, missing things that were right in front of us, this kind of fumble, because we have the Four of Cups and the Moon card. That's when we're kind of stuck on stupid or not taking action very quickly. And we were trying to just sit in the cycle. However, we needed to defend our spot, Queen of Wands. So we have the Sun trining Uranus, that's the Fool card. We also have the Sun opposing Neptune, that's the Hangman. But there's a mystery here and a keeper of the mystery with the High Priestess and the Moon card. And there was, yes, okay. So there was an intent to manifest some kind of shift for us. It was an ending, maybe trying to, allow things to dissipate, deplete, deteriorate on our end. That might have been the intention I'm feeling. And it was done tactically, surgically, in some kind of sense or another. It did bear upon us, but it wasn't the end all be all. There was much more, much bigger on the way towards us. Okay. With this Ten of Pentacles, this Full card, this Queen of Wands, this Emperor card, it means that we were going to have a new crown, a new throne, a new spot, a new seat, a new role, a new responsibility, a new duty, a new obligation, a new inheritance, a new windfall. And that's not I'm not rattling through a list of possibles. All of that was going to happen in some way, shape, form, or another to different varying degrees, but all those things would have been the catalyst. So sometimes we don't recognize that's what's going on, but in the background, all those things adding up together might equal one or two clear manifestations on our end. That also was, okay, I'm just going to say this, we were being attacked in some kind of way by somebody that was hidden, high priestess and the king of swords. So that means somebody wanted to take something from us. We were under some kind of judgment. Some energy, entity, ideology felt the need to execute some type of strategy. They desired to attack something that we had, which was the seat that we have, the emperor. There's some type of dominion or power that we have upon the earth that's spiritual in nature. It's usually we're demigod when the emperor and the full card kind of come out together in this way. And there was a design to strip us from this or distract us from this or make us lose out in some kind of way, because there was this, the energy of whatever other side, whether it was a person, place, or thing, whatever this opposing energy was, they didn't get chosen for something. They were left out. There's something that they needed to accept defeat and they couldn't. Now we, on our end, regardless if we were fighting or conflicting or going up against somebody, and we needed to have our bubble burst. We needed to be started awake. I feel like we were a little innocent. And not in general, but about our sovereignty, about our leadership. We might have needed to take a bigger role. We might have needed to reign. Unfortunately, we probably were being a little passive, and we have more alpha energy. Queen of Wands, Emperor. We're more of an alpha energy. We're more of a leader, and somebody who was desiring power, not born with it, came through, pulled through, and did all these orchestrations, machinations. We have a very strong Taurus rising energy right now with this Aquarius midheaven type of deal. There was a spot that somebody was sitting in, and we were naturally made for it. So it was clearly going to go to us. And I see this a lot with generations. There'll be generational abuse from the older to the younger, because let me put it behind it. Let me put it to you this way. Here's what's behind it. If somebody comes on the scene that's younger than us, if somebody comes on the scene that's better than us, we should want to see the next generation do better than us. We should want to see the next generation carry the ball forward in a much more innovative way. And so whenever we get in our ego about that, something's gone wrong. There was some kind of manipulation here. They had to seize our power and breadcrumb us through our own sovereignty. I don't know, a nice way to say it. I keep getting like a hidden hierophant here, which talks about spiritual power. We have earthly power here with the emperor. But there's this king of swords, which normally wouldn't be a person, but it is with the high priestess and the strength card. That's somebody behind the scenes trying to suppress energy on our end. That's some energy on behind the scenes trying to suppress us with whatever we have going on our end. We're getting crowned, unfortunately, with the emperor and the fool card, especially with this queen and 10 of pentacles. That means power is being enshrined in us. It was designed from before we were born. Strength card, 10 of pentacles. It's our destiny. It's not just the promise on our life, it's our destiny. And it's being restored with this wheel of fortune here, La Fortuna. That's, yeah, and unfortunately, it's because of our energetic signature. And I keep saying unfortunately because these experiences are going to bring things forward. So regardless if we want it or not, it's coming for us. See, we're needing to part ways from an energy. We're in a cycle where the fact that we won is being hidden from us. And there's this manipulation, matriculation, trying to breadcrumb us so that either we're distracted or we don't go after the whole pie, but the whole pie is ours. The spot is ours. It has our name on it. It has our birthright on it. It has our energetic signature on it. And there's an entity, ideology trying to prevent us from it. I don't understand what I'm getting here. I'm curious why we have two queens, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, Queen of, okay, so there's somebody trying to take us away from what's ours. Okay, Queen of Pentacles is the sorceress. They're trying to draw power from us, probably our celestial endowment, which is trying to turn into a spiritual inheritance. Celestial endowment, 10 of Cups. We have this spiritual inheritance, 10 of Pentacles here. I keep seeing the Queen of Swords, but it's not the Queen of Swords. We have the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Cups is the person who's right for the job, who's supposed to be on the throne because of their connection to the Lord. They're authentic. They're made of the real stuff. Queen of Wands is the one that needs to defend the spot, or the one that's looking, needing to be seen as bigger, brighter, and better. Here, it would be an Aries moon or a Capricorn rising. There was some binding, Three of Swords, external interference, a clique or coven with the Lover's card, Three of Swords. It can be gossiping, coworkers, but in that sense, it would be they've done something that physically interfered. They might have lodged a complaint, or their bad talking has mounted energetically far enough to get somebody's attention, have somebody get involved. Unfortunately, it left us stripped or left out in the cold or depleted in some way. We need to call upon support. And also, the person sitting on the throne needs to make changes because there's something coming down the road that may block their path or ascension. And that was for the double queen. What is this corresponding suit of cups? The truth's going to come out that something is inauthentic here. And also, the evil eye is going to return to the sender, unfortunately. And there's nothing about what we've done. It's just an energetic situation. The Nine of Wands is the evil eye. It's lifting, and it's going to be, if it's a spell, it's going to be broken. And tables are going to turn with the Wheel of Fortune. Things are going to go as they should. So there's also a windfall and inheritance here with the Wheel of Fortune and the Death card, especially with the Ten of Pentacles. It has to deal with thrones and duties and obligations and promises from God, things of that nature. We have the Three of Swords here, which typically talks about binding, especially with the double five. This is one of the witch cards. So it's been saying like there was some earlier on high-level witchcraft. There was an intent to strip us from something. It was low-level witchcraft, but it was by somebody that couldn't make the cut, and they're also flawless. So in order to engage in the game with us, they need us to get sad. They need us to doubt our self-worth and value. They need us to feel worse about ourselves so that our energy will change, so that so that their orchestrations and machinations will land. That's what they need. They've done everything as perfect as they could, Nine of Pentacles, but they're still being left to their own devices. They need us to bite into temptation, the Ace of Wands. That's what they need us to do. They need us out of our energy. So yeah. And so they're attacking our self-worth and value. We are made up internally by birth and by virtue. We're made up internally what they are dispossessed of, what they're lacking. And with this Five of Wands, we're dealing with a demon, a criminal, or it's really a being in purgatory, a demon, frankly, some type of demonic energy. And they're suffering because they're going to be in damnation. whatever they're doing isn't working. Nine of Swords is a backfire with that Tower. It's a backfire here. So they're desiring us to be in the crosshairs and whatever it is energetically we want to stay. So they're looking for some way to suppress, to repress, to oppress, to depress. They need us to stay under their thumb. That's not actually what's going to happen. And again, I'm trying to talk about universal energy. It keeps being brought back to a person, place, or thing. So that could be a group of people or one person, because they're demonic in their nature. They're coming out of the infernal kingdom, and we're righteous. We're in alignment. So it just means like, yeah, something worked in order to raise our vibration and have a better conscious awareness. But the moment we came into some type of spiritual alignment, the energy reverted back, and now it's known from on high. The throne of the divine, God's throne, is aware of the situation, and in the future, we've been seen as crowned in the position. So we've attained it in the future. We have attained it in the past. And there's a war over it in the present, which means somebody knows that there's gonna be a return, a correction, a restoration. Okay, that's what I'm getting. That. And it's not love, even though we have the Four of Wands and the Lovers card just popped out for the clarifier. So that's a choice or a group of people. Yeah, somebody's fallen, that they've left. See, the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Cups, they've left the eternal kingdom paradise, and they're going to end up in damnation, not just purgatory, but in hell, in the inferno. And it's because of the choices that they've made. Whoever they're hosting energetically, yeah, they're not going to go well through judgment. So I feel like somebody tried to call judgment on us because they were contesting our spot. They wanted it, but that's not what their assignment was. And I mean, that's just, there's no way around it. That's what it is. Unfortunately, that's what it is. We were being tempered in the fire, and we're coming out of that. So what's next? See what's next. Ace of Swords. Oh, and then there's that Judgment card. So there's Pluto. On the 22nd, the Sun trines Pluto. So we're coming out from underneath whatever is going on. Because this is a conflict resolution. And it's been brought before the Supreme Authority, but before the throne of the Supreme Authority, King of Swords, Four of Swords. That's also somebody here. It could be an Aquarius Sun. Taurus rising. If they have Taurus rising, they would have Saturn in the first house. Okay. So those people with Saturn in the first house, they need to choose the right path or they become very diabolical. Those are some of the stronger witches. Okay, so we successfully fought off temptation. Full card means it's a new beginning. There was a previously dark cycle. With that strength card, it would have meant that we were fighting some kind of shadow, some type of, I'm hearing the word demon. This judgment card is clarified by the Emperor and the Star card. So that's a famous leader. That's somebody that's a star. That's they're taking their place in the heavenly choir. We had the Wheel of Fortune out before, so that was a correction, soul retrieval, course correction, some type of soul restoration path, destiny restoration. When the Judgment card comes out with the Sun, that's conflict resolution, but it's from the heavens. So something out in hyperspace got situated. Because we're now prepared to receive material blessings, which means our path is being aligned and our steps are being reordered. And that's on our end here. Somebody else, if there's another person, they can only any so there's groups of people that we need to avoid. And there's no individual group of people. It's just to understand that if we enter into the wrong groups, it's going to slow down our manifestation. And all we really need is discernment. We unknowingly to ourselves made it out of the devil's crosshairs. There was just a lot of temptations, but I think since we were dealing with groups and agents and not in any individual one person, we wouldn't fall to that low vibration. We stayed high in spirits, even if we were alone, even if our feelings were hurt, things of that nature. We wouldn't lower our self-worth and value. We wouldn't take and accept what we didn't deserve. So kind of foiled plans, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So now we're high vibrational. Not only did we get crowned, but we're gonna find a throne. We're gonna be enshrined somewhere. So we're nurturing some creation because we've been sitting in the mystery. And finally, the seeds are being planted to manifest. Because we're going to have a creative new beginning. Ace of Wands with the full card. That's a creative new beginning. It's salvation, however, with this Judgment card. By the Garden of Eden, that's the Sun card. This is Paradiso. We might have been working out karma without knowing, and it was the kind of karma that was incurred when we were ignorant, unawakened, unhealed. It was nothing where we went around doing things intentionally. We weren't intentionally betraying the Lord. We weren't intentionally harming anybody. That's also something, and it was very much just born into temptation, born under sin. That stuff gets burned off early on in life unless our path, there was a miscarriage, like a miseducation, a miscarriage in justice, a misalignment in destiny. Once that gets corrected, we'll have a massive burning off of karma, and then we'll go toward realignment. The combination of cards is exactly what that is. Like, you know, it just took a while to come forward. So I think the dark, the enemy, thought that they had us in their crosshairs, and it didn't happen. Maybe it was temporary. But we had two shots across the bow of indestructibility. Mainly that's the death card and the strength card. So the strength card and the death card talk about indestructibility. Unfortunately, God is on our side here. Whenever you have the strength card with any of the three corresponding God energies, the Fool, the Hangman, or the Aeon, which is the Judgment card, and we have combined with the strength, God's on our side. So we have all three. We have Generator, Operator, Destroyer, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva with the Strength card. So there's nowhere, Michael to our right, Uriel to our left side, Gabriel behind us. We're surrounded by the angels in the circle of fire. We can't. I'm stumbling over my words here because it's coming through. It's celestial. This is, and I just saw the Strength card again. So when you get the Two of Pentacles with the Judgment card, it's the attendant of the Lord. Adishesha. It's the primordial spirit of life. It's the first inhabitant being. A lot of scripture tells us that's Adam and Eve, but those were creations. There were beings created before human. This is like a successful journey through the earthly paradise into the Garden of Eden, which is the beginning of the gates to heaven. And then we got the Nine of Cups, that's chosen. So we've gone through our 9 lifetimes, learning all our lessons, collecting all of our wisdom. And then, so now we're returning to the Lord, and now we've got to start to detach from earthly pleasures here. And we're doing it. we still have full reign over the material, even though we're detaching from it. Eight of Cups, because any type of attachment is demonic in its nature. It's going to be depleting and debilitating. Excuse me. There was no love here. We will pull an Egyptian oracle. Yeah, so newness is coming into our life. I feel like there was something, healing and renewal. Our life is going to be within 3 months, literally starting this month, but within the next 3 months, we're getting a green light. Renewals coming. If we've been living on the outs, if we've been depleted, if things have been going slow, it's because we needed to set rhythm. We needed to be obedient. We needed to attune and attach ourselves to some type of discipline. And it was walking the right path, essentially, because we had to overcome darkness, which is still here on the outskirts. Okay. But the thing about it is like darkness teaches us about what alive in us is worthy. We won't get attacked for no reason. We won't be ridiculed for no reason. If we're nothing, the enemy's not going to notice us. We're not going to seem like a threat. But since we are full of God's love, which is the Sun card, that's Christ consciousness, that's universal and universal oneness and unconditional love. We're full of that. That's who we're made of with the full card. It's in our essence, our being. And we've enshrined that upon the earth, Emperor. We were sitting in that mystery with the High Priestess. We embodied that. It's been a soul retrieval. The Sun card with the High Priestess, that's a soul retrieval. The Star card with the Wheel of Fortune, that's a renewal, restoration. So yeah, there was this enemy, but it was a collective energy. It was no one individual person. It's just because we kept coming up against a temptation, opportunity to leave, opportunity to forsake the Lord, opportunity to renege on our vows, our sacred vows, and we didn't. We passed some type of test, but remember, honey, not every test is an examination where you get a pass fail. Some tests are just assessments. They're just evaluations, not examinations. Sometimes a test doesn't come with a pass or fail or a level increase. Sometimes it's just like saying, like, I'm going to send support. How much support should I need? Check, take this assessment, this test, this evaluation, to tell me whether I should send one angel to your side or 5 angels to your side. Sometimes that's the version of the test. So we went through a test here. As always the case when you see the Tower or the Justicia, the Judgment card. Here it's called the Aeon. When you see the Tower or the Justicia or a bunch of sevens, which we didn't have, but we have the Tower and the clarifiers, and we have the Judgment here. That's the throne of God. So we have a message from the other side. Yeah, they were testing our skillfulness. So our spot was contested. As much as I'm trying not to say it, I'm picking it up. We came across an energy, an entity, an ideology where they were angry that we received favor, we received blessing. It might not have seemed like that because we were being cleansed and purified of sin. Sometimes we're just born into that. If we're born under the terrestrial side of the moon, that's also meaning being born into sin. But, sometimes we can be born through, ancestral lineage. It's called a soul lineage. Sometimes we're born into spiritual lineage. And there's a little bit of karma on that we need to work out. And once we do, through our own personal experience, once we work that karma out, we begin to come into the promise in our life. That's our destiny, our calling. Because there's many are chosen, but few are called. So we answered the calling in our life, that sacred mission, that journey. That's the Star card and the Judgment card. We began to have certain types of negative experiences. That's the 5 of Cups, because we had a position that needed to be protected. And unfortunately, we're coming up against groups of people that were fallen. They were never going to get into heaven, or they weren't going to get the amount of clearance that we have on our life. We have the spiritual clearance. We didn't know that in our little wallet is this access card, and if we rave in front of certain doors, it's going to lead to promised land. And other people, if they look in their wallet, their car doesn't have the level of access that ours does. A lot of people are going to end up in damnation because their heart is going to turn. It's carrying, it's harboring something. It's not clean. Or they're not going to come into all their lessons right away. They might also be weak. Because sometimes, I'm just going to put it to you this way, and it's hard to hear because we can't always see it. But sometimes if people went through what we went through, they wouldn't survive. They turn to the darkness. Their heart would turn pure. They forsake God. They doubt God's favor, God's love. Okay, that's just what I'm getting. That was on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, this is eternal damnation. Yeah. Okay, so it was really well hidden here, but we were surrounded by fallen, the types of demons that are higher level because they're fallen. They've chosen evil. They know about God's love and they choose differently. So this is a damnation, eternal damnation. And that's the cabals, the groups of people. So we were dodging bullets without knowing. That's what this is telling me. I'm trying to figure out the name. Yeah. Dodging bullets without knowing. And with the double four, that tells me it's like the end of trauma. Whatever wounds we were carrying, Three of Swords, whatever state of trauma we were in, whether we were pinned down in a jar in a sunken place, double four, it's paid off. We're ready for some type of material blessings. We're ready to walk this journey in the physical to come into the promise on our life. 10 of Pentacles. With this 10 of Cups, I don't know what to call this video. The promise on our life. That's what I'm going to call this video. It's been an honor and pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. Take good care. Bye-bye.